Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we take a mountain of information, sift through it, and distill it down to the absolute essential insights, giving you that ultimate shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're diving headfirst into a problem that, let's be honest, probably keeps a lot of business leaders up at night, and frankly, frustrates employees and customers alike. The relentless grind of inefficiency, the headache of errors, and that completely overwhelming feeling when processes just become too tangled to manage. It's kind of like trying to find a single thread in a massive, knotted ball of yarn, impossible and, frankly, a bit painful.
You've really hit the nail on the head there. And so often when faced with that kind of operational chaos, businesses might try a quick fix here, maybe a Band-Aid solution there. But without a really clear, systematic approach, they're essentially just playing a guessing game, aren't they? Today, we're going to introduce you to a powerful, game-changing methodology that cuts through that guesswork entirely, bringing order to what often feels like utter chaos. We're talking about Six Sigma. It's much more than just a corporate buzzword you might have heard floating around. It's a deeply disciplined, data-driven framework for achieving real, tangible, and profound improvements.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is crystal clear. We're going to completely demystify Six Sigma for you. We'll explore its foundational principles, trace its fascinating and rather revolutionary history, understand exactly how it works in practice, and perhaps most importantly, unpack why it's so incredibly valuable. And we're not just talking about those massive, sprawling manufacturing plants either. We'll show you why Six Sigma applies to businesses of all sizes, empowers employees at every level, and ultimately benefits customers in ways you might not have even considered. Get ready to understand why this isn't just for the Fortune 500, but maybe even a concept you can apply to your daily life. All right, let's really unpack this then. When I first heard the term Six Sigma, it sounded a bit like some super secret efficiency club, almost intimidating in its precision. What is it really at its heart? What's the fundamental purpose behind this seemingly complex system?
Well, at its core, Six Sigma is a disciplined, data-driven approach. It's specifically engineered to improve processes and, fundamentally, to drastically reduce defects. Think of it as a comprehensive quality control system, one that isn't just focused on the final product, but meticulously spans the entire production effort.
The entire effort?
Yeah, everything. From the very initial stages of design and material sourcing, all the way through to the intricate details of post-sale servicing and customer support, the goal is excellence at every single touch point, leaving no stone unturned, basically.
It's not just about throwing a bunch of random solutions at problems and desperately hoping for the best. It sounds more like being a highly analytical detective, but armed with numbers and hard data instead of, fingerprints and magnifying glasses.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. Unlike many businesses that often fall into the trap of guesswork or reactive problem solving, Six Sigma operates on a rock-solid foundation of comprehensive statistical analysis. It doesn't speculate on what could potentially happen. Instead, it meticulously analyzes how a business actually operates in reality right now. This statistical review is absolutely critical because it helps pinpoint the true underlying problems that have developed in the workplace, not just the symptoms you might initially see.
Right, getting to the root cause.
Exactly. It systematically assesses how a business measures and resolves those issues, meticulously tracking their evolution and then employing powerful statistical methods to systematically reduce them. This proactive, data-informed approach is absolutely essential for sustained business growth and predictable operations. It gives you a clear, precise roadmap rather than, say, a blurry vision.
Okay, statistics. I hear that and think, complex math. What kind are we talking about here?
Well, there are two primary types that Six Sigma leverages. First, we have descriptive statistics. These are like a snapshot used for data that's easily observable and digestible. Think of information presented in clear charts, straightforward numbers, or other data bits that offer immediate insights into current performance.
Like average wait time in a call center, something like that.
Exactly like that. Or daily output of a production line. You look at it and you instantly get a clear picture of the current situation. It simply describes what is.
Okay, descriptive. Got it. What's the other type?
Then there are inferential statistics. These are a bit more complex, but incredibly powerful because they go beyond mere description. Inferential statistics help us identify the deeper relationships between various items or processes. They support different concepts by analyzing what makes certain work distinct, unique, and most importantly, useful within the larger operational framework.
So if descriptive is the what, inferential is the why, or maybe the what next.
That's a perfect way to think about it. If descriptive statistics tell you what happened, like our sales increased by 10%, Inferential statistics help you understand why it happened or what will happen next. So, for instance, did that new training program actually cause the reduction in customer complaints, or was it just a coincidence? Inferential statistics provide the tools to draw those powerful predictive connections, helping you make informed decisions about the future.
That distinction makes a lot of sense. It sounds like you're moving from just observing the symptoms to truly understanding the operational DNA of a business. So moving from understanding what Six Sigma fundamentally is to seeing how it actually examines a business daily operations.
Exactly. Building on that concept of deep statistical analysis, Six Sigma is explicitly designed to scrutinize, with intense detail, all the business processes that a company utilizes. It takes a magnifying glass to how well each of these processes runs, paying close attention to every single step to identify any gaps, bottlenecks, or problems that might be getting in the way of efficient work.
So it's really like performing a comprehensive internal health check on every vein and artery of your business, like a forensic audit.
That's an excellent analogy, yes. The insights gleaned from Six Sigma analysis can reveal precisely how efficiently your business is truly being run and whether significant changes are warranted. Sometimes, the analysis shows that only a small part of a process needs some fine-tuning, a minor adjustment to optimize performance, perhaps tweaking a single step to make it smoother.
Okay, a little tune-up?
Right. Other times, however, the data might scream that a process needs a complete overhaul, a total redesign from the ground up, because it's fundamentally flawed. And in some, admittedly challenging cases, the data might even recommend scrapping a process entirely.
Wow, scrapping it completely. That sounds tough.
It can be, especially given existing investments in time and resources. Right. But the data sometimes unequivocally points to it being the only viable solution for true, lasting improvement. It's about being courageous enough to dismantle something that isn't serving you.
Makes sense.
And a critical outcome of this intense scrutiny is the active reduction of workplace waste. And this isn't just about tangible materials like scrap metal. It includes unnecessary processes themselves. Six Sigma involves carefully studying existing routines to determine if they are truly both efficient and productive. By minimizing wasted time and redundant employee efforts, a business can significantly strengthen its operational foundation, leading to better outcomes, optimized resource utilization, and ultimately a healthier bottom line.
That makes perfect sense. So when we talk about waste in this context, what might that look like in a common business? Say, a simple example like a restaurant or even a service business, not just a manufacturing plant. Give me something concrete.
Absolutely. Good question. Waste, in the Six Sigma context, refers to anything that consumes resources but doesn't add value in the eyes of the customer or the business. In a restaurant, for example, waste could be overproduction, preparing too much food in advance that ends up spoiling.
Ah, yeah, I can see that.
Or waiting. Customers waiting excessively long for their food, or maybe chefs waiting for ingredients that aren't stocked properly. Unnecessary motion. Kitchen staff walking back and forth excessively to get ingredients or tools that could be organized more efficiently.
Like running around the kitchen.
Pretty much. Then there's excessive processing. A chef having to chop vegetables multiple times because of a dull knife. Or preparing a dish with too many unnecessary complex steps. Defects. Obviously, dishes prepared incorrectly, leading to wasted ingredients and maybe an unhappy customer.
Right.
Also, unused employee talent. Not empowering kitchen staff to suggest improvements, or maybe using highly skilled chefs for very basic prep tasks. And finally, inventory. Holding too much perishable food that spoils, or maybe too many non-perishable items that just tie up capital.
Okay, that paints a clear picture for a restaurant. What about, say, a law firm, like a service business?
Great example. In a service business like a law firm, waste might look like redundant approval steps for a simple document. Requiring 3 different partners' signatures when one would probably suffice.
Bureaucracy, basically.
Essentially, yes. Or it could be paralegals spending excessive time searching for case information that should be easily accessible in a shared database. Wasted searching time. Or duplicated data entry across different client management systems. That's a classic one. These are all examples of wasted time, effort, and resources that Six Sigma aims to identify and systematically eliminate. It's all about streamlining the entire value stream. Now, while the processes themselves are critical, Six Sigma places immense emphasis on the fact that employees are just as important to the success of business as the manufacturing process itself. Their role is absolutely crucial. They are not just cogs in a machine.
Right, the human element.
Exactly. Six Sigma helps determine the ideal tasks for employees based on the available resources, the defined processes, and other key factors that influence your business operations. It ensures that you can meticulously plan out your processes and routines so that every single person in the workplace is crystal clear on their designated tasks. This clarity and optimized role assignment significantly enhances overall productivity, but also reduces frustration and confusion.
Okay, so clearer roles, less confusion.
Precisely. For instance, consider a busy call center. After Six Sigma analysis reviews its processes and maybe revises employee routines, it might lead to a task where employees are able to efficiently handle more calls at a time, simply by streamlining their workflow, clarifying their responsibilities, maybe even giving them better tools or scripts. It ensures everyone is playing to their strengths.
That's a powerful distinction. So it's not just about fixing machines or perfecting assembly lines. It's also making sure people are doing the most impactful work in the most efficient way and that everyone is aligned. That's an aspect often overlooked when people think of efficiency or quality control, isn't it? It sounds like it fosters a much more collaborative and empowered environment.
It absolutely does. It's about optimizing the human element within the system. And speaking of systems, Six Sigma, while now widespread, is actually relatively new in the grand scheme of quality control processes. It was first introduced back in the 1980s by Motorola.
Motorola, the phone company.
That's the one. Back then, Motorola was facing immense global competition, especially from Japan, and realized that even minor variations in their products and processes were costing them millions. They weren't just aiming for good enough. They needed near perfection to survive and thrive. This intense pressure forged Six Sigma, where it began as a pioneering standard for process improvement, pushing their defect rates to unprecedented lows.
Wow, so it was born out of necessity, really.
Very much so. And its dramatic success at Motorola caught the attention of other major players. General Electric, for example, under the legendary leadership of Jack Welch, famously adopted the Six Sigma standards in the 1990s, made it a cornerstone of their corporate excellence strategy.
GE, okay. Big names.
Huge names. Soon after, companies like Ford, Honeywell, and many others jumped on the bandwagon, recognizing its transformative potential. Over the years, Six Sigma became commonplace throughout the manufacturing industry, its birthplace, but its principles proved so universally applicable and effective that it soon spread into other diverse industries, including finance, healthcare, customer service, software development, and beyond. Its adaptability and proven track record are truly some of its greatest strengths.
So it started in manufacturing, but really took off everywhere else.
Pretty much. Now, as for the name itself, Six Sigma, it's a direct reference to the Greek letter sigma, which is represented by the symbol ICE. In mathematics and statistics, sigma is used to denote standard deviation.
Standard deviation. Okay, refresh my memory on that one.
Sure. Think of standard deviation as the spread or wiggle room around your target value. If you're aiming for exactly 12 ounces in a can, but sometimes the machine fills it at 11 or 13 ounces, that's a wide spread, a high standard deviation. Six Sigma aims to shrink that wiggle room to an almost imperceptible whisper, ensuring your results are clustered incredibly tightly around your goal. The core idea is that manufacturing processes should ideally operate within 6 standard deviations of their target.
6 standard deviations, okay.
When a business meets these stringent Six Sigma standards, it means it's operating at an incredibly efficient and productive level, maximizing its opportunities and minimizing errors. The system is fundamentally designed to create a near-perfect standard for manufacturing and operations, while still remaining practical and easy to follow.
So the name itself is a nod to the very precise math behind it. That's genuinely fascinating how the concept is built right into the branding. And speaking of standards, I saw something about ISO certification in the sources. That sounds like a big deal, like a global endorsement.
It is indeed a very big deal. Six Sigma is not just an internal methodology or a proprietary system. It's officially recognized by the International Organization for Standardization, or ISO, specifically under certification 13053 1.2011.
ISO 13053. Catchy.
Maybe not catchy, but important. This ISO standard focuses on methods that manage process improvement functions, lending significant global credibility and authority to Six Sigma's approach. For businesses, achieving an ISO certification related to Six Sigma isn't just a badge. It's a globally recognized seal of approval. It signals to partners, investors, and customers that you operate at the highest levels of quality management and are committed to continuous improvement.
So it's like an international stamp of quality.
Exactly. It can unlock new markets, streamline supply chains, and even significantly impact regulatory compliance. It makes Six Sigma not just an internal tool, but a powerful external differentiator. A vital aspect of what makes Six Sigma so useful and efficient, and something we could definitely dedicate an entire future deep dive to, is its core process, DMAIC. Yes, it stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It's the roadmap, really.
Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Okay, we'll definitely have to deep dive into DMAIC another time. That sounds like a whole episode in itself, the actionable roadmap you mentioned.
It certainly is. And what's also fascinating here is that while ISO provides a recognized and rigorous framework, businesses also have the flexibility to adapt the Six Sigma process to their specific needs.
So it's not totally rigid.
Not entirely.
Yeah.
However, any modifications or standards they adopt must always be geared towards producing a leaner and more efficient environment where regular business functions can be easily supported. You can customize the Six Sigma process as much as you need, provided that each change is carefully planned, data-driven, and supports the overall goal of keeping the business operational, continuously improving, and delivering consistent quality. It's a powerful balance of rigor and adaptability.
That brings us nicely to the absolute nitty-gritty, the core principles that really make this whole thing tick and drive those remarkable results.
Exactly. When we talk about how Six Sigma truly works to its fullest potential, we're looking at what's often referred to as the Six Sigma doctrine. These are 6 critical points, almost like guiding principles or commandments, that ensure the system delivers on its promise of unparalleled quality and efficiency.
Okay, the doctrine. These really do sound like the commandments of Six Sigma. What are they, and how do they really come alive in a business?
They truly are foundational. Let's walk through them, and you'll see how they build upon each other. First, and paramount, consistency. The results produced through any Six Sigma routine must be consistent.
Consistency makes sense.
Right. This consistency is achieved primarily by ruthlessly reducing variation within processes. Imagine running a bakery where every batch of bread tastes slightly different.
Yeah, not ideal.
Or a software company where updates introduce new bugs unpredictably. Consistency isn't just nice to have. It's the bedrock of customer trust and operational predictability. While it's true that not all variation can be eliminated, especially in complex manufacturing where many assets can change, Six Sigma works diligently to at least reduce the variation in question to a negligible minimum. This reduction ensures a profound sense of stability and predictability. When a business knows what to expect, it can operate without constant worry.
Okay, consistency is number 1. What's next?
Second, measurable definitions. There must be set, measurable definitions for every manufacturing process and activity in the workplace. These definitions should unveil specific, unambiguous routines or activities. Crucially, in addition to these definitions, the actions taken within the process must be rigorously measured, reviewed, and controlled. There needs to be a clear sense of control in each action, along with the ability to continuously improve. The emphasis here is that all actions should be easy to measure.
If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Heard that one before.
It's a classic for a reason. Third, full organizational responsibility. This tenet emphasizes that the entire organization, every single person, from the newest hire to the CEO, bears responsibility for producing the best results and sustaining them.
Everyone's involved.
Everyone. This isn't just for the Six Sigma specialists. It's about every employee and manager. While the leadership sets the vision, the highest levels of management are uniquely responsible for leading much of this work. They need to identify how well orders are prepared, ensure resources are allocated, define actionable steps. It's truly a top-down and bottom-up commitment.
Got it. Number 4.
Fourth, control of inputs-outputs. A fundamental tenet, almost like a universal law. If you can effectively control the inputs to a process, you can inherently control the outputs. When your processes are clearly defined, meticulously understood, and consistently followed, it becomes significantly easier for a business to operate efficiently. A clear analysis of each process should be available to review the efficiency of various functions. This allows you to control the inputs and analyze the outputs, enabling proactive adjustments.
Control inputs, control outputs. Simple but powerful.
Very. Fifth, continuous evaluations. This isn't a one-and-done project. Every single point in the work environment has to be analyzed, not just once, but continuously. Regular, ongoing evaluations are absolutely essential to identify how well the Six Sigma approach is operating and if it's truly delivering. All necessary changes must be made as soon as possible, ensuring agility. The evaluation process itself should remain consistent but adaptable based on what the analysis determines is and isn't working. It's an iterative loop of endless improvement.
Always checking, always tweaking.
Precisely. And finally, sixth, cost savings via variation elimination. This is where the rubber meets the road for the bottom line. The very lack of variations, a core outcome, ensures that there are virtually no errors or waste.
Right.
Waste here includes not just material waste, but also abstract things like extra time spent resolving problems, redoing work, or managing complaints. By maximizing the use of all resources, time, effort, a business is far more likely to stay under budget and achieve its goals efficiently, directly contributing to financial health.
So, consistency, clear, measurable rules, everyone on board, control inputs, outputs, constant checking, and saving money. It sounds like common sense, but applied with extreme rigor and a data-driven mindset, almost like a scientific method for business.
Precisely. And to truly understand that rigor, we need to define some key metrics that are foundational to Six Sigma. An important term is the defect.
Defect. Okay.
This refers to any kind of process output that does not work to the specifications that the customer or the business wants to utilize. For instance, imagine a company that makes thermal cotton bed sheets. Each set is designed to use a certain number of threads. If a sheet set is made with fewer threads than acceptable, meaning it doesn't meet business standards, then customers will also feel it's not what they were told it would be. That's a defect.
So anything that doesn't meet the standard.
Right. But it's important to understand that a defect isn't always just about a tangible product issue, like a wonky widget, as you put it earlier. It can also be about the process itself. A business must follow correct processes for generating items or handling functions without errors. A business with too many defects might be seen as disorganized, poorly managed, or just offering poor quality. Customers lose trust.
And employees probably get frustrated too.
Absolutely. Employees might feel conflicted, not knowing how to fix problems due to systemic issues and unclear processes. Then we have the concept of an opportunity.
Opportunity, that sounds positive.
It's more neutral, actually. An opportunity, in Six Sigma terms, is simply a chance for a defect to occur every single point in a process where something could go wrong. This could be a handoff of responsibility, a data entry point, a component assembly, any action that influences the outcome. A successful opportunity results in a product being correctly made or a process running as intended. It's every single chance you have to do something right.
Okay, so an opportunity is a chance to mess up, basically.
Or a chance to get it right. These concepts, opportunities, and defects combine into a critical metric known as DPMO.
DPMO, another acronym.
Defects per million opportunities. DPMO analyzes the defects occurring in a workplace with the express intention of resolving those defects before they can escalate. For every million opportunities you have to perform an action correctly, DPMO tells you how many times a defect actually occurred. The goal, of course, is to reduce faulty processes and defects, driving towards near perfection.
So DPMO is like the ultimate, brutally honest report card for how many times we messed up compared to how many chances we had to get it right out of a million opportunities. That's a very clear and powerful way to put it.
It truly is. And this brings us to another interesting and often complementary facet of Six Sigma. Its connection to lean. You might frequently hear Six Sigma sometimes referred to as lean or lean Six Sigma.
Yeah, I've heard that term, lean Six Sigma.
Right. And there's a very good reason for that combined terminology. The lean value in the workplace refers to achieving a minimal amount of processing in business routines. In essence, it's about systematically reducing anything that does not add some tangible value to the business or to the customer. Every single step in a process must be based on concepts and values that are genuinely useful.
So cutting out the fat.
Exactly. While Six Sigma is laser-focused on reducing variations and defects through statistical analysis, lean is about ruthlessly eliminating waste, anything that doesn't add value. Think of it as Six Sigma perfecting the machine, making it incredibly precise, while lean is streamlining the entire factory floor, cutting out every unnecessary step, every wasted movement, every bit of clutter.
Ah, okay. Six Sigma precision, lean, efficiency, no waste.
You've got it. By keeping all the moving parts in check, a business can create a significantly more efficient and cleaner work environment. The more unnecessary processes, the more waste, inefficiency, and errors. So, Six Sigma, in its pursuit of reducing defects, naturally aligns with the lean philosophy of eliminating waste and maximizing value. When you combine them, you get Lean Six Sigma, a powerful duo that makes processes both incredibly precise and incredibly efficient.
So it's like decluttering and optimizing your business processes, getting rid of anything that doesn't add value or causes friction, while simultaneously making everything that does add value incredibly precise. That makes so much sense. Now that we have these foundational definitions down, let's talk about the big picture. What's the ultimate goal a company is striving for when it embraces Six Sigma?
The ultimate goal for any business truly embracing this methodology is, well, to reach the Six Sigma level. As we touched on earlier, sigma is that direct reference to standard deviation within a larger group set. It's a precise mathematical measure of how far a given result deviates from the main specification limit, and it quantifies the variation in a dataset. This measure is designed with the inherent understanding that natural variation is a common and unavoidable part of almost any manufacturing or operational process.
Right, nothing's ever perfectly identical.
Exactly. No two things are ever perfectly identical. However, with Six Sigma, the business aims to maintain meticulous control, preventing any significant loss of consistency and regularity despite this natural variation. The overarching goal is to create a series of operational limits that are easy for a business to operate within. This, in turn, establishes a setup where the manufacturing process consistently fits within the data parameters being utilized. As a direct result, the number of defects that may develop is minimized to an incredibly low level, approaching near statistical perfection.
Okay, so minimize defects by controlling variation within tight limits. Let's make that concrete. You mentioned an example earlier.
Yes, the soft drinks example really brings the numbers to life. Imagine a company that produces soft drinks in cans. Their precise goal is 12 fluid ounces per can. Now, in the real world, due to those natural variations, machinery, temperature, cans themselves, the product might be planned to have a slight acceptable variance, maybe between 11.98 and 12.02 fluid ounces.
Is that a tiny range?
Tiny, yes, but acceptable. This slight variance is expected. The process mean, or target, is exactly 12 fluid ounces, right in the middle. For a business to achieve Six Sigma here, the standard deviation, that wiggle room, should be minimal, ideally around 0.005 ounces. The lower limit, 11.98 ounces, should represent 6 standard deviations away from the 12-ounce mean, and same for the upper limit.
6 standard deviations. Okay.
A business that successfully obtains Six Sigma certification will ensure its products are made consistently within these 6 standard deviations, guaranteeing each can is prepared almost perfectly. The general astounding measure for achieving Six Sigma is that only 3.4 defects will occur within every million products produced.
Wait, say that again?
3.4 defects per million.
Per million.
Per million. So in our soft drink example, this means only 3 or 4 cans out of an entire million will have the incorrect amount of soft drink. That level of precision is, quite simply, astounding.
Wow, 3.4 defects per million. That's almost unbelievably perfect. That's a huge aha moment for understanding the 6 in Six Sigma. It really puts the name into perspective and shows the ambition behind it.
It truly does clarify the extreme level of quality we're talking about. And it's important to understand that businesses don't just jump directly to Six Sigma overnight. It's a journey. There are lower Sigma levels they can achieve and they continuously improve upon, steadily climbing towards that ultimate goal.
So you can be like 2 Sigma or 3 Sigma.
Exactly. For example, a business might initially operate at 3 Sigmas. That translates to approximately 66,800 defects per million opportunities.
66,000, that's still a lot.
It is, compared to 3.4. But it's a starting point for improvement, a baseline. Eventually, with consistent application, diligent analysis, committed effort, the business can move to 4 Sigmas, dramatically reducing defects to around 6,210 per million.
Okay, big improvement.
Huge. Progressing further, they can then aim for 5 Sigmas, which brings the defect rate down to a mere 230 defects per million. But the ultimate continuing process of attaining and maintaining that Six Sigma ranking is the ultimate goal, continually driving them towards near perfection.
Okay, so it's a ladder you climb. Can you give some examples of what that difference actually means in the real world between, say, 3 Sigma and 6 Sigma?
Absolutely. To truly grasp the compelling, even life-changing real-world impact, let's consider a couple of examples. Think about the pharmacy industry. Precision is literally life and death there. A pharmacy operating at 3 Sigmas might, alarmingly, produce about 200,000 incorrect prescriptions annually.
200,000 wrong prescriptions. That's terrifying.
It is. Imagine the danger, the health consequences, the loss of trust. However, a pharmacy that diligently achieves 6 Sigmas would produce only about 50 to 70 wrong prescriptions in an entire year, out of millions.
50 versus 200,000. That's monumental.
Monumental difference in public health and safety. It's the difference between chaos and confidence. Or consider another example, maybe closer to our daily comfort. An electric company. A 3 Sigma electric company might experience power outages for approximately 3 to 4 hours every month.
Yeah, that's disruptive.
Very. Imagine the impact on daily life, business, essential services. In stark contrast, a 6 Sigma electric company would have only about 1 hour without electricity every 2 to 3 years.
Wow. Okay. Those examples really drive home the difference. It's not just about saving money or corporate efficiency, it's about fundamental reliability that touches all our lives. It transforms what seems like an abstract statistical concept into something profoundly impactful, sometimes life or death.
Absolutely. Now, it's also important to clarify that not all businesses have to meet that incredibly stringent 3.4 defects per million standard to be considered successful with Six Sigma.
Oh.
That level of perfection may simply be too lofty or difficult for some businesses to attain, maybe due to unavoidable natural variations in their specific processes, or even the cost-benefit analysis might not support pushing for that absolute peak. However, the overarching goal isn't necessarily absolute perfection for every process in every industry. Instead, the true goal is to create a robust layout and framework that ensures a business continuously improves upon its functionality.
So the journey is as important as the destination.
In many ways, yes. The aim is to consistently strive for, say, a 99% efficiency rating or higher. Achieving this level of operational excellence makes it significantly easier for a business to grow, expand, and innovate. More importantly, as its processes become more predictable and its quality more consistent, a business will inherently become more trustworthy in the eyes of its customers and stakeholders, and ultimately easier for them to support and rely upon. It's about building a foundation of consistent, reliable excellence, even if you don't hit 3.4 defects on day one.
That makes sense. Aim high, but the continuous improvement itself brings huge value. So why should you, our listener, care about this as a learner or as someone navigating the professional world? Beyond the big corporate benefits, how does this impact individuals or careers?
That's a vital question, and it's something I urge everyone to consider. Obtaining Six Sigma certification can be a genuine game changer for your career. The most immediate and important benefit is your enhanced ability to directly contribute to reducing errors within any business you work with.
So you become a problem solver.
Exactly. By developing a Six Sigma mindset, you become adept at identifying opportunities for improvement. It makes it significantly easier for you to determine the precise solutions needed for fixing problems. You move from being someone who just spots problems to someone who actively solves them, making you an invaluable asset.
Right.
And, of course, your employer will also realize substantial cost savings when operational problems are effectively resolved, directly attributable to your skills.
Okay, making yourself valuable. Where can you apply these skills? Is it just manufacturing?
Oh, absolutely not. The true beauty of Six Sigma certification lies in its wide applicability across an astonishing assortment of industries. In the sciences, for instance, Six Sigma is used to meticulously identify how chemical tests work, ensuring precision and reliability result for drug development, material analysis, you name it. In banking, it helps review functions like loan processing, transaction workflows, and finding ways to quickly correct errors, ensuring accuracy, mitigating risk, and building customer trust.
Finance, okay. What else?
Marketing. They might use Six Sigma not only to identify opportunities for growth in campaigns, but also to pinpoint potential waste in ad spending or lead generation processes, making campaigns efficient and effective. Honestly, having more control over work processes, seeking continuous improvement, problem solving through data, that's a universal concern. It makes Six Sigma ideal for businesses of all kinds and for professionals to master.
So it's very versatile.
Extremely. And beyond internal efficiency, Six Sigma can help a business maintain crucial compliance with various industry regulations and external standards. Numerous inspection boards and regulatory organizations actually use Six Sigma standards for identifying well-performing functions and actions in the workplace.
Really? Like government agencies?
Sometimes, yes, or industry bodies. They look at machine performance, employee task management, many factors. They might use Six Sigma standards as a benchmark to ensure there are no problems with the business's practices. That's crucial for legal standing, avoiding fines, keeping certifications, and just preserving a positive reputation.
So if I'm looking for a tangible way to make myself more valuable in almost any industry, from biotech to banking, Six Sigma certification seems like a really smart move. It shows you can contribute directly to efficiency, problem solving, and bottom line impact. Puts you in the driver's seat for improvement.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And its profound impact extends directly to the customer, who, after all, is the lifeblood of any business. We often hear the adage that the customer is always the top priority, and that's absolutely true.
Right.
Customers fundamentally expect a business to produce high-quality products while simultaneously remaining competitive, reliable, timely, and offering the best possible service. These are non-negotiables for loyalty. The Six Sigma approach is designed to ensure the products are consistently made to the best possible standards. When these consistent standards are meticulously maintained, When defects are rare and processes are smooth, the customer quickly learns that a business genuinely cares about quality. This, in turn, builds strong customer trust and support. It powerfully reinforces that old adage. The customer is always right, not just by fixing problems after they occur, but by proactively delivering excellence.
So fewer defects, better products, more consistent quality, and ultimately more trust. It's a direct, undeniable line from Six Sigma implementation to profound customer happiness and loyalty. That's a clear value proposition for anyone buying a product or using a service.
And it's not just external benefits for the customer. The employees in your workplace will also significantly benefit from the Six Sigma process. This is an area often undervalued. It empowers employees to create better results by designing processes that are easy to follow, highly efficient, and clear. Imagine the reduction in frustration when people know exactly what's expected, what the optimal path is, and how their work contributes to the larger picture.
Less guesswork, less stress.
Exactly. You can expect your employees to work together better as well, because Six Sigma promotes a shared understanding and ensures everyone is on the same page regarding processes and goals. It breaks down silos. When employees collaborate effectively with Six Sigma as their guide, it becomes much easier for the business to grow and thrive. The best part about the Six Sigma routine is its comprehensive nature. The process truly works well for everyone in the workplace, fostering a more productive, more harmonious, and ultimately a more fulfilling environment. Employees feel valued.
So it's not just a top-down mandate for efficiency. It actually empowers people at every level to contribute. That must feel pretty good for individuals, giving them more agency and clarity, transforming them from cogs to active problem solvers.
It genuinely does. And to help us truly visualize the comprehensive impact, particularly how it addresses those hidden issues, the best analogy is clearing out the hidden factory within your business.
The hidden factory. That sounds intriguing and slightly ominous. What is that?
It's a great term, isn't it? The hidden factory refers to all those unofficial, undocumented, and often inefficient or wasteful things that take place within your standard operating procedures, or SOPs, that you might not even be fully aware of. While you might assume a task is moving forward as desired, that effort might actually be slumping or struggling. Part of this might come from sudden issues like a machine glitch or subtle waste concerns quietly slipping into your task, undermining it without being obvious.
So things happening behind the scenes that slow things down or cause errors.
Exactly. These issues might make it harder for your business to stay functional or deliver the best results. Critically, these issues exist below the surface, hence hidden, and they absolutely have to be identified and corrected immediately. The very idea suggests unofficial problems that are anything but normal or optimal. Unnecessary rework, redundant checks, wasted time. These must be resolved quickly to prevent defects or larger issues from arising or escalating. Plus, there's always the danger that these hidden problems will spill over into the rest of the workplace, impacting other processes, departments, and ultimately the customer.
Okay, so finding and fixing the hidden problems is key.
Absolutely paramount. Now, think about this provocative question. What if your customers knew about what was truly going on in your hidden factory? Do you honestly think they would want to buy your products or services?
Oof, probably not. That's a terrifying thought.
Right. People are generally unwilling to spend hard-earned money on products or services likely to have defects or produced through hidden inefficiency. The idea is unsettling. So a great goal for Six Sigma is to systematically reduce the influence of this hidden factory, making your work processes far more visible, measurable, and useful. The process works by meticulously revealing and studying every single part of a task for efficiency, leading to demonstrably better, more reliable results.
How do you make it visible? How do you tackle this hidden factory?
One highly effective way is to transform it into what's called a visual factory.
A visual factory.
Yes. This involves implementing a system that uses pictures, diagrams, manuals, clear signage, and other clear, intuitive illustrations of your new Six Sigma processes, for all employees to easily understand and follow. It's about making the invisible visible. The methods can be diverse. The key is considering what people can truly comprehend. This might mean specific training courses or open discussions with employees to get their feedback and gauge understanding. It also involves reviewing what employees want from a task and how work is actually run from their perspective, leveraging their frontline insights. The core principle is, only by being fully aware of every aspect of every process, even the hidden ones, can you effectively implement solutions for continuous improvement.
So it's about radical transparency, not just with customers, but within the company itself, shining a spotlight on every nook and cranny to continuously improve. That's powerful. And yeah, a little terrifying if you think about what might be hiding in your own factory or even your personal routines. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive into the world of Six Sigma. We've journeyed from its statistical roots and fascinating history at Motorola through its six powerful core principles and critical terms like defects per million opportunities, all the way to its comprehensive benefits for businesses, for customers, and critically, for employees. And of course, we can't forget that striking analogy of the hidden factory and the powerful concept of transforming it into a visual factory. It's truly a testament to how data and discipline can revolutionize operations.
Indeed. It covers a lot of ground. And as we wrap up, maybe consider this thought. Drawing from the powerful impact of even small improvements shown by those sigma levels, whether it's pharmacies or power grids, what hidden factories might be operating in processes you encounter daily? Not just at work, maybe even in your personal routines. Is there subtle, inefficient step in how you manage your finances, organize your schedule, or even how you make your morning coffee? And what would it look like to bring that Six Sigma thinking, that commitment to consistency, measurement, and continuous evaluation, even casually, to one of those areas? Just identifying one small inefficiency can have a surprisingly large ripple effect.
Fascinating thought, and maybe a little confronting. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel a little more well-informed and perhaps even inspired by the transformative power of Six Sigma. Until next time, keep digging deeper.